What's up, guys? So, I'm going to play a clip from the Shawn Ryan podcast in an episode with a woman named Angela Ford that's a psychic, and she channels spirit guides and stuff and does remote viewing and gets, knowledge. She works for like the government, CIA type stuff, like remote view spy type crap. But I used to be into channeling and used to be deceived about a lot of the new age stuff, but I just want to know what you guys think about this woman's reaction, specifically when asked about Jesus and the crucifixion. She's got a very interesting response, and I'm just curious if you guys could let me know in the comments what exactly you think is happening.
You know, maybe some personal ventures that you've used remote viewing for. And so kind of if I knew how to tap into this, I just have so many questions about the past, about religion, about UFOs, about all kinds of stuff. And so I'm wondering if you use this for your own curiosity.
Oh, yeah, of course. I would. Oh, of course. I read it. I would read anything I could on it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so here's an example. I would love to know maybe what some of the things that were happening in World War II or the Bible or just big questions.
Oh, you mean use your psychic abilities to kind of figure it out?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes.
What
But
are
then
some of
sometimes
the...
you don't know if you're right though, but you don't have the feedback, and so you don't know if you're right or whatever. So sometimes you have to do. You may be curious about something or think of something and maybe try to figure it out, and then maybe it'll just do some research. Maybe your thinking was right, or maybe you have to look for your feedback to see if what you were feeling was right.
Interesting. What are some of the big questions that you've
I guess
into?
what goes on after we leave this, I guess after our body, our physical body, I don't think, I sort of think that we sort of go on in some way. And I do believe that I was born and raised Catholic, but I had to let go a lot of that. I just had to let a lot of that thinking go.
She had to let a lot of the thinking go. I wonder why that is.
I mean, I like to think that we go on in some way. I do believe that there was a man named Jesus that walked the earth. But there were other people too that were here to teach lessons. My biggest thing was what happens after we go on. I'm interested to know, do we come in reincarnation? I've asked, do we come back?
What do you believe happens when we die?
I just think you're kind of I think you're you go over with, I believe that you go on and that you're reunited with your soul family or with your karma group. The way I understand it is that we come into this life with our karma group. The karma, we have karma, good karma and bad karma. So the same people that I was with, I just think that we somehow come back, and we come back with the same people.
Really?
I believe in yeah, I do.
What is a karma group?
Well, it's the same. Like, in other words, the people you know now, you knew before in a past life. Did you ever go somewhere and just felt like you knew somebody or that you've been there before?
Yes.
Yeah, I've known you. Yeah, yeah.
What do you think deja vu is?
The remembering of a past life.
Do you think it's the remembering of a past life?
Yeah, if it happened before, either you were at that place. I felt like I had that with a couple of my animals.
That's not the
Why
way
do you
I-
think that?
When I have deja vu, and I guess there's a different name for this, and let me know if you guys have ever had this, but it's more so. Oh, my mic was off. So when I have deja vu, and I think there's a different name for it, but let me know if you guys can relate to this. But it's usually like, it's not so much that I've done this before, but it's like I've dreamt about it beforehand, and forgot about it until that moment. And I remember vaguely once upon a time having dreamt about that moment somewhere deep in my subconscious or something. Like I knew that I've had a dream of that moment. To me, that's what my deja vu experience feels like. But I'm curious what you guys think. Like if you guys have had that same thing.
Why do I think what?
Why do you think that we travel with a karma group?
Because it just makes because we have things to work out with them, I guess.
The fact is, we've come here right now. Millions of us lightworkers have incarnated on this planet right.
Who would,
See,
they,
that's
who
a
would be in that
deception
karma
right
group?
there.
Friends, relatives, friends, people that you meet all through your life. Everybody that you know,
Everybody
That you
so
know.
everybody in
That you
your
would know.
sphere of
you would know. I think it was explained to me like, you've got 1 million people will leave this earth, and then 1 million people will come down to replace the 1 million people that left.
do we immediately come back?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I think you kind of have to wait for your karma group to figure out, if you come back this time, are you going to be my mother or my sister or my
that's
father?
pretty neat. According to her, you just decide, hey, I want to be reborn. I might have to wait for my friends first. And then we'll just pick a life. No consequences for this life. That's a pretty liberal way to live. Just relax, no rules.
Or
Why do you think that we come back? What have you experienced that makes
whatever we need.
And-
Not really.
I wanna
State
get to this
where
other
you
part.
kind of go and bring such work at that.
have you tried to look into
Right here.
religion at all, such as the crucifixion?
Now watch. Look at her. Watch her.
Do you have? Do you not want to talk about that? Okay.
Look at that. Weird.
Do you want to talk about? You had mentioned you had a UFO experience.
Look at her.
Yeah, but I was
Want to talk about
Look at her face. Tell me
Religion
if
at all?
that does she not look
such
scared?
as to look into
What is
religion at
up
all?
with that?
such
That
as
is weird.
the crucifixion? Do you have? Do you not want to
She
talk
looks
about
terrified.
that? Okay. Do you want to talk about? You had mentioned you had a UFO experience.
Yeah, when I was 13 years old. This was another thing too that had happened to me.
Now look at her.
We were playing, a bunch of us kids, we were playing baseball. It was a spring day, and it was right at that time that the day goes into, it was dusk where the day goes into the darkness. So we had to scream, then we yelled. Did have a UFO experience. And so that
UFO type this it was being that are Mars and something. You
but I didn't trust but I don't trust the information because I was remote viewing Mars, but I didn't trust the information or the feedback because I don't think it was known at the time.
What was the feedback?
I can't even remember, but it didn't make sense.
Okay.
It was at Fort Meade. There was one guy there. He wanted everybody to remote view Mars.
I know who this is. I read the book. There was some weird crackpot like what was that dude's name? Skip. No, Skip Atwater was the other guy. Oh, it'll come to me.
But the protocol, it wasn't good. It wasn't a clean protocol, and I just
this
didn't
guy was
trust
real
the,
sloppy.
and I don't even remember because I don't trust the session and I don't trust the information.
So you
this
don't
guy was
trust.
like going off on his own and was asking all these remote viewers to like go view like UFOs and go. He wanted to find aliens, and this dude was like sending people off without telling the higher ups, just to appease his own curiosity.
Trust anything unless you get the feedback.
Well, in remote viewing, yeah.
Or
in remote viewing. But see, a lot of this stuff, like a lot of times I read or I have my own personal feelings on stuff, but I don't know, but I kind of have my own feeling on things, how things go or whatever.
Yeah.
But, in the
I'd like to know what
psychic
your feeling
world,
was
if I'm
about the crucifixion.
performing, I would need the feedback, even if I give psychic readings. It's sort of, I kind of have to take what my thoughts are or what my beliefs are. I just take it out of the equation.
Is that hard for you to do?
No, because I know what I believe and I just know what I can't.
Why do you believe what you believe?
Because
With reincarnation and
to me it makes sense. To me it makes sense. It sense to no my nation that
have you some places probably not 10,000
Yeah, I want to
have
watch
you
this
looked
again.
into
Look at her.
have you
just one
tried
more
to
time.
look into
Look at her
religion
reaction.
at all, such as the crucifixion? Do you have?
She can't even speak right now.
Do you not want to talk about that? Okay. Do you want to talk about? You had mentioned you had a UFO experience.
I want to know what you guys think.
yeah, when I
about
was
that,
13
because
years
that's
old.
weird.
This was
That's
another
weird.
thing too that had happened to